about that time to get paid. Get laid, cool in the shade, drink a little bit of lemonade. Let me tell you what I want. Yo, I wanted this to be special, something more than any other feeling that you felt before.
Welcome back to another episode of Connected Dots. I am your host, Lou Icewater, aka Duquan Hicks, as we give you the things and the knowledge. First, I want to talk about on this Connected Dots thing is rest in peace to Fat Joe's mother. She passed away. She was 77 a couple of days ago, and my condolences to the Cartagena family. If I said it wrong, whatever, excuse me for saying it, but Fat Joe, like I said, my condolences to you and your family, and rest in peace. Yes, Fat Joe's mom died at 77 years old. So rest in peace to Fat Joe's mom, and my condolences to the Cartagena family. You know what I mean? So let's talk about the big news that's going on in Cincinnati, Ohio. 18-year-old Ryan Hilton was shot and gunned down by the police. And before you start saying street justice and all that, I'm going to break everything down to you, and then I want you to comment because I want you to understand this is crazy. First of all, rest in peace. My condolences to the Hilton family for losing a son. I don't know what it's like to lose a kid, but under the circumstances, you have to take accountable for your actions. And my thing is not the family, but for what he did. And this is why I'm going to break this down. I'm going to break this down to you. You see, the thing that's wrong with Black America or us in general is that we always look at a picture, but we never look at the whole picture. We look at part of the picture. Like, for example, see that connected dot logo? You're just looking at that on my face and hearing my voice, but you ain't looking at behind the scenes, what makes connected dots flow. So as I'm speaking on this subject, same thing with this guy. You're 18 years old. Like I said, rest in peace. And you're in the street with three other dudes stealing Kias. And on top of that, you have a 40 caliber gun in the car. And on top of that, you're running away from the police. Now you tell me, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? My thing, and I say this again, this is what I talk about with us. We always look what we done to my kid, but you ain't looking at what the kid did. The root of the problem was the kid. Because first of all, he shouldn't have been in the streets trying to steal cars. On top of that, with a gun, and you a black man in America, and you're running away from the police, that's not a good look. Now, the cops were wrong because they could have tased him. They could have tased the guy, and that's where I have the problem with the police, because you could have tased them, and that would have been that. But I think it was an eye for an eye. The phrase they like to use, I fear for my life. But how can you fear for your life if he ain't pointing the gun at you? This is why I have a problem with police in America. They see a black man, they get scared, and then they want to get trigger happy. That's my problem I have with black people. With cops. I have that problem with police because they get trigger happy. My problem with my people is that we don't look at what we did was wrong for this to happen. All this could have been prevented if he wasn't out here stealing cars. Number one, I don't like a thief. I don't care what color you are. I do not like thieves. So if you're stealing, hey, you get what you caught. In other countries, they chop your hand off for stealing or burn you alive. So you got to understand that stealing, carrying a firearm, and running away from the police, what do you think is going to happen? That's all I got to say. Now, as far as the father, I'm 50-50. I understand why he did what he did because that's his son. He wanted justice. My thing was, you killed the wrong person. You killed someone who had nothing to do with your son. And now 2 men in a household are gone. So what type of thinking that was? Yeah, you held your head high, but still, now if you have a daughter or a wife or a girlfriend you left them in stray but for your decision. And you probably won't ever get out because they already know when you kill a cop in America, they're going to treat you to the fullest, to the harsh fullest in that prison. And my thing is, we have to watch what we do and when we do. You cannot let your emotions get the best of you. People say, what if that was your kid? If that was my daughter, it depends on what she did first. If she was just chilling in the street and they did that, oh, then it would have been, I would have been just like the father. You know, I'm Larry Hilton. You know what I'm saying? I would have been like him. But, excuse me, Rodney Hilton, my bad. Larry Henderson was the deputy that got killed, and my condolences to his family as well. But if you out here doing dirt and being bad, I can't feel sorry for you because you already know the consequence. The thing about these kids is they try to act hard and they want to be bad and they want to do all this dumb stuff. And then when the consequence come up, oh, they start crying and all that. You put your own self in this consequence. That's what I'm saying, America. You might not agree with me. You might say, yo, you know what I'm talking about? But look, I want you to comment. I want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly, because that's what America is, the good, the bad, and the ugly. All I'm saying is, as a black man in America, you reap what you sow. You was out here stealing, you was out here carrying a gun, and you was out here running from the cops. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen if you're doing all three of those things? Come on now, let's be real. What do you think is going to happen? So I got to, sometimes we have to have accountability for ourselves. Like with George Floyd, oh, that was different. With Trayvon Martin, that was different. But this is a whole different situation because this dude was doing dirt. He was out here committing crimes. So when you're committing crimes like that and then running away from them, what do you think is going to happen? It's not going to turn out good in no sense, in no way. And my thing is, why are you stealing cars? You just turned 18. So I want questions before I go further. I want answers and questions on why this kid did that. Why? We already know why the police shot, because they were scared and they feared for their life and they act like Karens. Well, I understand that. I understand why the dad did what he did. That was his son. He knew he was going to get justice. But I don't understand is why the kid was out here stealing cars and had a gun and was running away from the police. That's the problem I have. I have a problem with that. And that's the root of the problem. So Cincinnati, Ohio, if there's another story that I don't know about or anybody knows another story, please contact me. Comment. I want to hear your comments on this because, yo, this is real life. This is some real stuff that I'm talking about. This happens all the time. But in this case, I can't be all the way against the police because you was committing a crime and you're stealing cars from hardworking people who are out here working. So I can't give you no pass on that, bro. I can't. But again, rest in peace to both families who've lost loved ones. All this could have been prevented if you wouldn't have ran away, or if you wasn't stealing, or if you wasn't carrying a gun. Those are the questions that family needs to answer. They need some answers on that because I want some answers on that. Okay, let's talk about being from New York. Now, people don't understand being from is being from New York and being from the city. I'm from the city. You know what I mean? I'm from NYC. That's why if you ask me where I'm from, I'm going to say the Bronx, the street, you know what I'm saying, the bus line, the train line, and all that. If you're from another part of New York, you're going to just say I'm from Rochester or I'm from Buffalo. But New York City cats, women and men, we love this talk. We like to say the whole thing. We like to give you a great description of what it is. That's just an NYC thing. I don't know how it got started, but people be like, why do y'all do that? That's just how we like to tell pictures. It's like, you ever heard a New York City dude tell a story? You know what I mean? And then also, I believe because there's a lot of people that lie about they're from New York. When I moved down here, a lot of people were lying about they were from NYC. And then when I say what borough, they couldn't tell me nothing about the borough. Oh, I'm too young. Then how did you know you lived in New York? You know what I mean? It was a lot of that going on, a lot of lying going on. You know what I'm saying? Somebody told me that Yankee Stadium was in Brooklyn. Lying like that's why we had to pull cards. You know what I mean? That's what mainly what's about. So a lot of NYC cats, you know the description when they say, I'm from such and such, I'm from Brooklyn. Give you the whole rundown. You be like, okay, he NYC. So people wonder why we do that. That's what we do. That's what we do. All right. So I'm gonna talk about hip hop for a second. Everybody always talks about great duos in hip hop, right? But I'm gonna give you a great duo that no one talks about. Everybody talks about Styles and Jada, Ref, Medman and Meth and Redman. Uh, Ghost and Ray. You know what I mean? But no one never talks about Smif and Wesson, Tech and Steel. And I'm gonna talk about these brothers today because these dudes got a strong catalog, right? They both can rhyme and they have hits out of the galore and they did everything underground. Dirty, grimy, evil D-ish. You know what I mean? But wow, I just love their sound. But I want to give these brothers props because they need the flowers, yo. They've been doing this for a long time, since the 90s, and they still here. And to be honest, Smif and Wesson has outlasted Black Moon, outlasted a lot of guys in their own crew. Their catalog is outlasted a lot of people. Think about that for a second. Just think about that for a minute. They never put out a whack album. They always got, anthems. And I just love the way they rhyme together is dope. When they freestyle together is dope. And the new album they got out now, they got some dope songs like Medina with Frau Monk, Church, The Elephant in the Room. They got some songs on this new album. So if you haven't heard this new album that came out maybe 3 months ago, you need to cop the album. The album is bananas. You know what I'm saying? I want to shout out, like I said, Smif and Wesson. And to be honest, the whole camp, the boot camp clique is dope. You know what I mean? The whole camp, your sound, y'all got a grungy Brooklyn sound that I love. But flowers to Smif and Wesson, Tech and Steel, they are in my top 5 duos. You know what I mean? They got to be all in my top 10 of duos of all time. I'm just going to call it like I see it. And speaking of hip hop, Lloyd Banks dropped a new album out. Join his bananas. I love it. I love it. This is third straight album that I love by him. I think he's really showing everybody he got some joints. He got the joint with Ghostface. That's bananas, yo. Peep the new Lloyd Banks album. It came out last Thursday or Friday. You need to peep the joint. The joint is hot. I love it. You know what I mean? Real hip hop fans will really love the album. If you're a really hip hop fan, you will love the album. Reef Hustle, new album dropped. Yo, check out Reef Hustle. If you've seen any of my videos, you see I like to play some of his stuff in the beginning because dude is dope. Shout out to Mills Faison as well. Them brothers are real good, genuine brothers. They representing the Bronx Kings Bridge. You know what I mean? And I love them dudes, man. He got style, he got class. His freestyle game is dope. Check his new album out. It's out in stores, social media. I forgot the title, but I'm just telling you the name. Reef Hustle. You know what I mean? Shout outs to you, my dude. So I love talking. This is what I like doing. This is why I connect the dots. This is why we do it. Let's talk about why business and friends don't mix. You ever notice that? Now, in my situation is different. I have childhood friends that I'm partnering with, and we form our Voltron status, and we still friends to this day, over 30 years, and we still in the mix. No animosity, no infighting. You know what I mean? We're like brothers. We're gonna talk about someone, we talk about them to their face. And I love the fact that this is they wouldn't have been possible without the hip hop barbershop in Ak. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been possible without MTG and Flow coming up with the name. And it wouldn't have been possible without DJ Shakim always be DJing, making tapes. You know what I mean? It would have been possible without Thelonious, you know what I'm saying? And Stay Foggy and Push Mud Entertainment kicking the rhymes and the freestyles. It wouldn't have been possible without Ripped On, the reggae master. It wouldn't have been possible without Priz, Queens dude, you know what I'm saying? Thorough with the brain and the mind. It wouldn't have been possible, you know what I'm saying, without these dudes that made up the crew. It wouldn't have been possible without Mark the Spark. You know what I'm saying? For real, Rose in Sight, Rose in Sight. Check him out. The trucking company doing well. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said before, it wouldn't have been possible without those brothers. We formed the Voltron Status. Key Black, you know what I'm saying? Good stock trade market, my dude. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't have been possible without these brothers. And we've been friends for a while. And business we do together, just about. You know, some of our businesses we stick together. I love that. Now, in case of other people, it's a whole different ballgame. You got people you can't do business with. Y'all just friends, and they fronting on you, they hating on you, they talking behind your back, yada yada yada. It's crazy. All I have to say is that you have to be very careful when you mix friendship and business. And even if you're married or have a girlfriend doing business with people, sometimes it don't work out. 90% of the time it don't work. You know what I mean? There's a few people that make it work, but it's just business is different. You become another animal, especially if you're running your own business. It's not like you're trying to be Dr. Dre in the studio, I want it done right. It ain't like that. You know what I mean? It's not like that. It's just that there's certain things you want it done right because your name is attached to it. And a lot of people don't understand that. When your name is attached to things, that's what it is. Oh yeah, DJ Ferg, Connected Dots, and all the DJs that did stuff for us. You know what I'm saying? DJ Silver D, you know what I'm saying? DJ C Styles, you know what I mean? The DJs that rep for us. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying is it was hard when you do business with people. And you have to have the ear, you have to have the mind, and you have to have the patience. Patience is virtue when you're in business with your friend, your partners, whatever it is. Patience. That is the key word, because the money might not come when you want it to come. The likes might not come when you want it to come. The interviews might not come when you want it to come. But you stay focused and you keep grinding till you have to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? You have to do that for real. So, like I said before, stay up, America, and understand that business is not for everybody. It's for certain people, but it's not for everybody. I don't try to gossip. I don't gossip on this show. So you ain't gonna hear too many. You ain't gonna hear me talking about too much gossip like everybody else do, like the Shannon Sharps. Nah, I don't do that. I'm about teaching and reaching. Teaching and reaching. That's what I do here. That's why it's called We Are Connecting the Dots. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to a lot of people out there. You know what I'm saying? What's up to my man Ken Dog? Better yet, Kirk Henry. What's good? What's up to old Doc Way out there in ATL? Shamitz was good. Tony Lamptey was good. Juan was good. Shaquan was good. Travis Hall. What's good, my dudes? My family out there. Corey Banks, aka Corey Drums, was good, man. Fingers Frames. What's up, Corey Frames? Crazy Carlos Hicks, my cuz, was good, man. You know what I mean? Buck was good. Jabbar and Omar. And all my girl cousins, I love y'all too. I just had to throw those in. Every now and then, I got to get some shout outs in. You know what I mean? For real. Bro C, Bro Conscious was good, man. Brother Conscious. Good brother right there. What's good, man? Had to get you in there too. So anyway, like I said, connected dots. This is what I do. I like to connect the dots. If you want to be a guest, let me know. You know what I mean? My number, excuse me, I ain't giving my phone number, excuse me. But anyway, If you want to get at me, holler at me. It's Lou Ice Water, the number 1 at gmail.com. That's the email. Facebook page, Duquan Hicks. Instagram page, LOUIS.HICKS714. YouTube Connected Dots channel. You know how we do. Also, the Hip Hop Barbershop presents the Hip Hop Barbershop at yahoo.com. So we can be reached. If you want to be on any one of our shows, like I said, we form Voltron. We do what we do. We stay busy. Let us know. If you want to put a mix on, let us know. If you want to interview, let us know. If you want to drop knowledge and science with us, let us know. We do it all. With that being said, one life, one love, one Lou. Peace. Connected dots, baby. One.